With the coronation of Queen Victoria in June of 1837, her reign stands as the second longest to date next to Queen Elizabeth II in English monarchy history, and thus the commencement of the iconic Victorian era. While the modern eye might look upon this era with the notion of flashy gowns, tight-laced corsetry, and a wonder of who might have been the diamond of each season,
Daphne Bridgerton.
The reality of the era is much more nuanced. From the Industrial Revolution, a rise in the middle class, to crinoline fires, Gothic revival, and strict social etiquette with a dash of cannibalism, to the macabre interest in the occult and poisonous dresses, the Victorians are arguably some of the most interesting people to study and look back upon as they experience such rapid changes in just a few decades. In this series, we will uncover the nuance of fashion from the start until the end of Queen Victoria's reign, spanning nearly 64 years, as well as England and France's influences on Canadian fashion and society. In order to understand the fashion of the period, we must also understand the political climate of Canada during Victoria's reign. In 1837, Canada was still known as Lower and Upper Canada, which in modern terms consisted only of the province of Ontario and Quebec. During a 2-year period, Lower and Upper Canada were rebelling, believing that the progress towards a full democracy as an independent region was too slow. Unfortunately for them, they had very little support and were ultimately defeated by British soldiers and Canadian volunteers. Following in 1840, Upper and Lower Canada were united into one province known as the Province of Canada. It wasn't until 1864 to 1867 that the Province of Canada, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia, with British support, worked together to form a new country. The British Parliament passed the British North America Act in 1867. The Dominion of Canada was made official on July 1st, 1867, thus creating two levels of government, federal and provincial. Though an ever-changing political and economic climate, the Victorian era saw a lot of change, especially in fashion. In collaboration with the Walker House Museum in Kincardine, Ontario, I will be going through each period of time throughout the near 64 years in direct correlation to our history on this land, post-colonization and modernization. With Kincardine having only become a settlement in 1848, then known as Penetanguur, there will be some wiggle room in various locations of Ontario, Canada, in order to paint the full picture of Victorian Canada. My name is Hannah Bone, and I will see you next week for the second episode of Fashion Friday.